Everything in the world had a start and a finish. Today, we're going to be talking about a Blue Puppy's start and finish. From the early days of Blues Prince to the current days of Blues Clues and You. This is the history of Blues Clues. Welcome to the Zay Zay Zone. I'm Isaiah, aka zayzaynicks, and today we're talking about the history of Blues Clues. Now, when thinking about Blues Clues, you're thinking about Steve, and then maybe Joe, and now it's Josh. So in today's episode of the history of, we're gonna talk about the earliest days of Blues Clues from Blues Prince, up until like now with Blues Clues and You, and that's all we're gonna talk about today. So let's really hop into it because I did the intro. So let's actually hop into the development, of Blues Clues. Yeah, let's do that. Development and Blues Prince. Nickelodeon was looking to create more preschool programming in the mid 90s, and three producers were enlisted to be a part of the team. Three producers turned out to be Angela C. Santamero, Tracy Page Johnson, and Todd Kessler, who all created Blues Clues. They created a pilot, and it was called Blues Prince. And for many years, it was lost media until it was found in its entirety in 2023. Blue's Clues premiered on September 8th, 1996, hosted by 23-year-old Steve Burns, who was the first and most iconic host of Blue's Clues. The show increased in popularity with each coming season, and when the show started getting DVDs produced, and that helped introduce Blue to an audience without cable or fans who wanted to see more Blue's Clues or whatever in between. The show was featured in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade from 1999 until 2002. The show also had international versions around the world. Blues Clues also had a live stage tour from 1999 until 2005, and during the height of it all, Steve Burns was ready to play Blues Skidoo and never come back again. After he announced his departure to the crew in fall 2000, casting calls for a replacement host took place shortly after, and they found their match to replace Steve Burns. They hired 22-year-old Donovan Patton. After the hiring, Steve went on to complete the fourth season of Blues Clues in January 2001. And after that, season 5 was beginning production with Donovan Patton later that same year. And the next year, children around the world were shook by what was happening next. Prior to the start of the Joe episodes, Joe debuted during the last 3 episodes of season 4 alongside Steve. Children around the world saw their favorite host, Steve, leave for good and leave with someone we hardly even know. But besides that, many kids either turned off the show for good or continued to watch with Joe. But it was evident that the latter happened because Blues Clues were later renewed for a 6th and final season, and it aired on Nickelodeon in early 2004. Blues Clues wrapped up production, but something else just finished construction. Or should I say, production. But you may be wondering what I mean by that. And what I meant was Blues Room became its own show. During the 6th season, Blues Clues underwent so many changes, including the removal of the So Long song, a new intro sequence, and only 9 episodes were produced, along with a small segment at the end called Blues Room, which spun out into its own series. Blues Room is the spin-off to Blues Clues that premiered on August 2nd, 2004 and ended on March 29th, 2007. The series was produced with puppets. It ran for 2 seasons. People often say that it was a failure since no one really remembers it and only had 17 episodes. I will admit that it was a sad way to end off the Blue franchise. After the silent cancellation of Blue's Room, Blue wasn't seen again for a long time. Actually, only 3 years. When she appeared at the Nickelodeon Mega Music Fest in 2010 alongside Joe. And after that, there was no more Blue content. No more new toys, no more new DVDs, just nothing for about 11 years. Blue's Clues and You. Okay, so now, in 2017, we skip to like 10 years later, 11 years later, the creators of Blue's Clues are trying to reboot the show. And Nickelodeon finally approves of it, and they began the audition process for Blue's Clues. But then on September 13th, 2018, Nickelodeon announced that Josh De La Cruz, best known as an understudy for Disney's Aladdin on Broadway for like 5 years, will be the series' next host. And then the series aired on November 11th, 2019 on Nickelodeon and Nick Jr. And it was a huge success, now going on almost 6 seasons. So yes, you could say that was a good success for Nickelodeon. And probably one of the most successful Nickelodeon reboots of all time. It probably is the most successful Nickelodeon reboot of all time. Who knows? But other than that though, thank you so much for watching today's episode of The Zay Zay Zone. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give the episode a big like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you again in the next episode of The Zay Zay Zone. Peace, y'all.